Through the Looking Glass Part 1 Chapter 6, and work begins. He slowly removed himself from the bed so he could get ready to go to work. It wasn't until he was fully dressed and drinking his morning cup of coffee did he ask himself, what was he going to do with Shadow? He was still healing and definitely needed the rest. It was probably best to have him stay at the house, but at the same time, he didn't feel comfortable letting the hedgehog out of his sight. Wade's thoughts were interrupted as he heard Shadow entering the kitchen.
Morning, Shadow.
Shadow responded with a nod and walked over to where Wade was standing.
Can I help you, kid?
Yes, actually. Could you pour me a cup?
Cup of what? Juice?
Shadow looked at Wade like he was the stupidest person to walk the earth.
No, coffee.
Coffee? What would he need coffee for? And then it clicked.
Oh. Wait, how old are you?
He had to ask. Wade wasn't sure if he felt comfortable giving a kid coffee.
Why does it matter?
The look of annoyance on Shadow's face was hard to ignore.
I don't feel comfortable giving a kid coffee. It's bad for you or something.
I'm an alien hedgehog. Coffee won't hurt me.
Yeah? And how do you know that?
I just do.
Tell me your age and I'll give you decaf with 4 creams.
If there was no caffeine and mostly cream, it would be fine for a kid to drink, right? Right? Probably not, because Shadow's answer came too quickly.
Fine, deal.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Shadow's face was deadpan.
So how old are you?
13.
It took every fiber in his being not to spit his coffee out like an idiot. 13? He just took in a 13-year-old who somehow dislocated his thumbs, has horrible nightmares, and was an alien. Wade wasn't sure what to say. Was he really equipped to do this? To watch over Shadow?
Earth to Wade.
Huh?
Are you gonna give me my coffee?
Wade watched as Shadow tapped his feet in annoyance.
Yeah, sure. Just sit down, will ya? We need to talk.
Okay.
From the corner of his eye, Wade could see Shadow struggling to get onto the chair. He made a mental note to either get shorter chairs or some sort of step stool for the hedgehog to use. Wade walked over to the table and placed the cup in front of Shadow. He watched as the kid gulped down the drink. Shadow probably wouldn't admit it, but Wade saw the small smile on his lips after he was done.
So what did you want to talk about?
Would you be okay with staying here while I'm at work? I would take you, but you're injured and need to rest.
I'm fine staying here.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, great. While you're here, feel free to take a bath and eat anything in the fridge. There's still plenty of pizza left over from last night.
Okay.
Oh, and if you need anything, just call me, okay?
Wade said before writing his phone number down on a sticky note and passing it to Shadow. Well, that went a lot better than he thought. The kid didn't really fight him or anything, but Wade wasn't really sure what else he expected. The kid hasn't been really difficult at all. Either way, Shadow's cooperation was a weight off of Wade's shoulders. He was still pretty stressed out about the new secretary coming in. Wade never had to train anyone. It's always just been him and Tom.
Okay, see you later, Shadow. I should be back around 5.
Wade waved goodbye and got one more glance at the hedgehog before walking at the door and locking it. He walked out over to his patrol car and drove to work. He was still a bit early, which was great because Wade wasn't sure if he could handle the embarrassment of arriving after the new hire. Once at his desk, Wade began to work on some paperwork that he didn't finish yesterday. He wasn't the best at finding the motivation to finish his work. Lost in paperwork, Wade almost didn't notice the front door open.
Hello?
Wade rushed to the door to greet the person who came in.
You must be the new secretary.
Jessica.
Nice to meet you, Jessica.
Wade offered his hand out to shake.
Nice to meet you too, Wade.
she said after looking at his badge and shaking his hand. After introductions, showing Jessica around wasn't as hard as he thought it would be. Sure, he still stuttered and messed up a bit here and there, but otherwise, Wade did pretty well. Once Jessica was settled, the workday began. The two worked in mostly silence, only really talking when they need the other's attention. Usually this would make Wade restless, but today was different. His mind was preoccupied, too busy thinking about a little hedgehog currently in his house.
What you busy thinking about?
The question caught Wade off guard.
Huh?
Your brows are furrowed like something is worrying you. You alright?
Should Wade ask for her opinion? Should he tell her what's bothering him? Obviously, he wouldn't straight up say, "There's a child hedgehog living in my house." But maybe she could give him some advice?
I'm watching a friend's kid for a bit, and I'm just worried something might go wrong while I'm at work.
That was laid to get off his chest.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be okay. But if it'll make you feel better, I'll cover for you if you need to stop by and check on them.
Wade lifted his head up from his desk.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Thank you, Jessica. No, seriously, thank you.
don't mention it.
Wade looked at the time, 12 o'clock. Okay, good. Right around lunchtime. Wade rushed into his patrol car and headed back to the house. He knew he was probably being paranoid for no reason, but he just wanted to make sure the kid was okay. Shadow watched as Wade exited the house and left him there alone. He didn't want to admit it, but it felt weird not having the man there. Even though Shadow's been here for less than a day, he couldn't hide just how comfortable he felt. So what now? Wade said he could take a bath and get rest. Maybe he should do that? It's not like he had anything else to do, really. So it was settled. Shadow was going to wash up, clean his cuts, and get some more rest. All in that order. Especially the washing up part. Shadow couldn't deny how much he stunk, and how filthy he felt. Shadow walked around looking for towels and a washcloth. It took longer than expected since once he did find them, he noticed how they were on the highest shelf. What was with Wade and everything in the man's house being out of Shadow's reach? Once he grabbed the items he needed, Shadow walked over to the guest bathroom and started the tub water. The only soap available was a small thing of lavender body wash, which surprisingly to Shadow smelled very good. It was relaxing, and he would never admit that probably another reason why it calmed him was because it smelled like Wade. Shadow lathered up the washcloth and dragged it around his body as he sat in the warm water. He tried to be delicate as his thumbs were still in a bit of pain, and he didn't want to irritate his cuts too much. Shadow could feel himself finally relax. Once he was sure he was clean, Shadow got out of the tub and dried off. The bath left him feeling a little tired and ready to take a nap. The drowsiness left him a bit unaware of his surroundings, and that's how Shadow found himself snuggled under the covers of Wade's bed and blissfully asleep. At least, that's what he'd say if anyone asked. As Wade entered his home, he couldn't help but notice how quiet it was. Was Shadow taken? But the door was still locked. Before he knew it, Wade found himself running around the house looking for the hedgehog. When he finally found him, the image stopped him in his tracks. Shadow laid in Wade's bed with the most peaceful face he'd ever seen. Wade had to admit it was pretty cute. Well, now that he knew everything was fine, he had to head back to work. However, since he was already home, there wouldn't be any harm in preparing a snack for when the kid woke up. Wade reheated 2 slices of pizza and put them on a plate. He placed 2 Tylenol pills in case the kid needed them, and a glass of water next to the plate. There, all done. Before leaving, Wade left a note.
Well, the nap was good. Made you some lunch. Oh, and only take the Tylenol if you need it. Wade.